Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to talk about Sudha Murthy's novels, and the first novel that I read and get impressed by her writing style, the simplicity yet the ethnicity. And you can say that I am a great fan of her. I respect her, I adore her. I have a wide collection of Sudha Murthy that I want to show today, and there is now Kindle books, ebooks, so a wide variety, wide chance, and they are too much affordable. This is the book by Sudha Murthy. You can see here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere says with me. And this is Grandma's Bag of Stories. It is for children. Sometimes I used to read from here and then tell the stories to my son. And this is The Daughter from a Wishing Tree. Yeah, I just bought it recently. I have not read the stories yet. Mahashata. I love this novel too much. This is based on leukoderma. A woman gets leukoderma and how her life and attitude changes. But I love Mahashata Anupama for her fighting spirit. Even when everyone will leave her in the face of adversity, Mahashata, who is actually Anupama, will fight. Now the next book, Wise and Otherwise. And there are so many yet. Just wait and see. The Mother I Never Knew. And House of Cards. You will like this novel, House of Cards, based on family values. And the next book, Gently Falls the Bakula. Today I will read about this book, and I want to share my impression, how I love this book and what I like. Now there are 3000 stitches. This is the book 3000 stitches. Dollar Bohu. It is also based on family values. Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. 20 inspiring real life stories. These are my books on Sudha Murthy, and there are also many books, Kindle books, short stories, Kindles, and there are ebooks. So you can see, I love just these books, and I love to hug them. They all smell beautiful. These are the books by Sudha Murthy in the hard copy format. Okay, now today we will want to talk about the first book I read from her, that is Gently Falls the Bakula. Karnataka born Indian writer, famous for novels like House of Cards, Mahashata. I just show you these books, Dollar Bohu, children classics, collection of a wide variety of writings. There is no inclination towards something particular, but she can write in every topic, about the children, about the adults, for everyone. It is astonishing that how, being the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation, she proves so deep in human heart. And most of all, I like her simplicity. Whatever she is, she has no showiness. Gently Falls the Bakula by Sudha Murthy is a heart-rendering story, or also for every reader. Now, this is the book. I just take this picture in my garden. There is not other flower, there is no Bakula flower then, but I find these flowers and I put them in this. The story, first take a look at the story. The story opens with an easy on flow. As the writer herself, as the author herself, very simple person, you can smell smell of old mud. I find from her approach, from her appearance, too much simple, yet too much gorgeous. And her writing, her storytelling, everything has that essence of her approach, of her style. This is the style. Actually, I feel that simplicity is the style actually. Now, let's come to the point. Telling a story of two genius girls and boys. Not girls. One girl and one boy, they both are genius, who come from two different families. They are antagonistic to each other, fiercely, they compete in their class, but consequently they fall in love. Their love depends with the fragrance of teeny little Bakula flowers. Srimati, the symbol of purity, love, sacrifice and calmness, gets absorbed with the self-effacing flower Bakula that she always wears in her hair. And Srikant associates her with it in every aspect. So, Bakula flower is very symbolic in association with this novel. And who are the characters? Srimati and Srikant. They are both two genius, boy and girl. He asked her to write a letter to him when he moves to Bombay for his higher studies, and Srimati encloses a teeny Bakul in every letter. Eventually, they got married in spite of every adversity from their house. So, I am just telling in brief because I want you to read the novel, because if I tell in details how they love each other, how they fall in love, what happened after that, then you will not find interest in reading the book again. So, I will not be the spoiler. Srimati, the brightest student, sacrifices her career, her thirst for knowledge, her yearning for the history of India, for Lord Asoka, Gautam Buddha, Vikramaditya, as at a point of her life she feels sad. I do love history, but I love Srikant as well. So at a point she feels that her love for Srikant is much greater than or much necessary for her love for other aspects of her life. So she sacrifices everything for Srikant. Perhaps more. She sacrifices her sensibility, her aspiration, her sensitivity to help Srikant in climbing the ladder of the corporate world, higher to the highest rung. But everything has a limit, and Srimati crosses the limit of sacrifice. Yeah, everything has a limit, and Srimati crosses that limit on her part. And when you do everything, you sacrifices everything for someone else's betterment, and ultimately you find that you have none to stand beside you, then what you will feel? What you will feel at that moment? If you want to know that feeling, if you want to realize or conceive that feeling, you just go through this novel. In the course of her life, she feels lonely, detached, with no child, no lover, and perhaps no husband who cares a fig for her. She does not aspire for materialism. She asked for love. One thing in in Sudha Murthy's every novel, I find this feature in her heroines or protagonists. They all seek for love, for care, for simplicity. They are not aspiring for materialism. Actually, they all are modeled on the author. The author herself is the emblem of simplicity and divinity. But she is taken for granted. Her calm, docile self is used by everyone. Her husband, her in-laws, they never love her. They only taunt her, make her suffer. The most evolving and absorbing part in Srimati's realization and gradual development is that part. The Srimati realized that everyone is using me, and that causes her development. Her sufferings, her agony, her humiliation one day dissolve all her dilemma, her oscillation. She became firm, she became rigid, not in the negative sense. She understands everything. She understands what her life wants from her. Actually, in our life, we want everything from him or her, from them. Actually, that is not the process. We have to acknowledge what we want from us, and that is the reality. No one can gives us that. Her tremendous willpower leads her to her destination, her journey in search of truth. The only option left was to become a student, and that's what I love most. You must be a student in all of your life. Your whole life you must be a student, and there is the peace of your life. The thirst for knowledge, that ever-ending journey. After 10 years of marriage, she realizes what she wants and she embarks on her mission, renouncing every comfort of Srikant's palace. Now we'll have a look at the technical sides. The storytelling style, easy flow of language, and the storytelling style. The novel is approached in just you are reading a story. So these things touch the reader's heart easily. The ending is really heart-touching, where Srikant loses his Srimati. Srimati would have walked with him side by side in the same Shravan rain for 10 years, had now left him all alone. There is no braggadocio of language. Here you will find no braggadocio of language, no bubble of society. And the symbol of Bakul flower, how is Bakul flower? Bakul flower is very teeny. I cannot draw it properly. But I have a Bakul flower in my school. It is not I have, everyone has. And I remember there is a Bakul flower in my maternal uncle's house. There was also a Bakul flower. And it smells awesome. And this teeny little Bakul flower, they have omnipresent, omniscient power in this novel. Everywhere you find, in Srimati's hair, in Srimati's letter, in Srimati's attitude, you will find the numerous Bakul flowers. The symbolic Bakul flower keeps spreading its mild fragrance all over the novel. It is teeny, but it is powerful. It is just like atom. It must be said that sophisticated simplicity is the logo of this novel, and obviously logo of the author. Okay, so with this today I stop talking about Sudha Murthy, because talking about Sudha Murthy is just as spontaneous as talking about the best and most favorite part of my life. You must go through her novels, and you must go through these novels.